Alright, what is up everyone? And this is the very first Christmas special here on CG Market Watch. I am your host Ryan and this is
Andy!
Hey guys, so I think it has been a really it has been such a painful year that I would say that wow, I can't believe we even made it and we're actually doing a Christmas special.
Yeah.
I think everyone here I really want to thank you guys for just following the channel for just the whole year, you know. And not only that, I think we have grown from strength to strength. We are looking really stronger more than ever because I think this whole market, what has it actually taught you, Andy?
Like patience, resilient, and
I guess we really learn to believe,
have faith,
have faith that this space will actually turn. And true enough, in the last few days, we actually had some kind of a rally.
Finally.
Is it the rally, you think?
I wonder.
Okay.
Too, as well.
But you know what, guys? I think the most important thing is what are you guys doing for Christmas? You know, I will be away with the family next week. It is going to be Christmas week next week. Hopefully that everyone out there just wanting to wish you guys a really Merry Christmas. I think we'll be back, obviously. We'll still be doing our content next week. But, you know, there's going to be a jam-packed session. Today we're going to be covering, of course, the crypto markets, the financial markets. Not only that, we will have our very first winner of our weekly CG Protege contest. I think that was one of the best things that happened to us. Thank you guys for joining the chat and at the same time for signing up on that. There will be weekly prizes that will be given away and we'll be announcing the winner at the end of this episode. So without further ado, let's get into it. So, the financial markets right now are truly not the same actually. You know, we have been having such heavy corrections that I would say that it's such a different sentiment. Like we've been having a bear market practically we're still in a bear market, just so you know, we're still in a crypto bear market. In terms of sentiment, nothing much has changed. But I think for start, we are going to be seeing the financial markets anticipating a really heavy correction. It's already starting. The only question is how much more is it going to be going down? And I think from a technical perspective, you're seeing the 50-day moving average going very close to the 200-day moving average. And if it really crosses big time, I think there's going to be a huge sell down. So I think, Andy, you probably have more insights for us.
Alright, so, well, I think what Ryan just mentioned was more of the death cross situation of 50 and 200 moving average crossing each other. It's already happening across certain indices and certain indexes in that sense, and it will have a major impact on different stocks around the world. But the one thing that we need to kind of understand and to note is to understand what is happening, in fact, with the financial markets. Alright, so the one key indicator, in fact, just happened a few days ago was Fed raising its interest rate once again. And not only just increasing its rate, it's also decreasing the prediction for next year's rate. So in fact, investors were predicting that the Feds will be raising rates 3 or 4 times next year in 2019. But in fact, the Feds, or Powell, which is the chairman of Fed, have actually mentioned that it's only targeting to raise it 2 times next year. So what it actually tells you is that there's going to be a lot of tightening next year, and inflation, even though may be going higher slightly, but the Feds are not going to be executing more interest rate gains or increase in interest rates. And I think it's a pretty, I shouldn't say it's a wise move, but they have to act on that. Partly because if they keep increasing the interest rates, trade will be affected. A lot of different industries will be affected. Banks won't be able to loan out their funds because the interest rate is too high. No investors want to invest in the US. And the thing is, when US raise their interest rate, it does actually impact the rest of the world, right? Especially emerging markets, Asian markets, and the rest of the world. So Feds or Mr. Powell have a lot on his plate, right? He has to decide for himself and also for the whole entire nation how to actually move or how to go about even just managing this interest rate issue. But one thing that we can definitely see in 2019, and it's already happening, like what Ryan mentioned, is that we do see the indexes kind of going down quite significantly. Yes, erased off about 2018 gains, and we do see that VIX index has been going up, which is a CBOE volatility index has been going up significantly. We see that commodities prices are going down as well, maybe except oil that increases slightly today. But in general, we don't see much improvement in commodity prices as well. So the only thing that it's kind of in the green, in fact today or this week alone, is definitely the cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency market, which is kind of strange because as compared to the last few months we have been seeing, we realize that the stock market has been the one that has always been in the green, right? Just that somehow this week alone, the gains were just erased off. Everything just 2018 gains were just erased off from the stock market, and now the attention is turning back towards the cryptocurrency market. So what do you say about this, Ryan?
I think with regards to the overall financial market, sometimes I guess when you start reading about it, a lot of the people who are in crypto are saying, what's the correlation? Why do we even care? Because right now, if you're looking at the crypto markets and the financial markets, it's actually inversely correlated, which is very, very ironic. Obviously, if you kind of see the fact that the crypto markets have been having an 11-month bear market, we're still in a bear market, just so you know.
Yep.
Okay, but for the fact that we are having a little bit of a outperform at the moment, because it's clearly that as the market in the stock markets is tanking, you're seeing the crypto markets actually looking rather healthy. We've been having Bitcoin up $800 ever since the $3,200 low. You're having Ethereum at about anywhere from $90 all the way back up to $120 at the moment. It's looking really, really healthy. I think, of course, Bitcoin Cash doing very, very well. So the question right now is, why is this happening? Why is it happening now? Like, isn't the whole market looking really, really horrible? And what more can we say? But you know what? Before we go into that, check out CG Protege. Now, CG Protege is basically our new Discord group, where if you're truly interested in trading and investing in cryptocurrencies, this is the group for you. Now, the good thing about it is it's absolutely free. Let's look at our website and you can sign up in the links below. Right now, the market is really heating up, guys. The fact that we already crossed the $4,000 mark just goes to show that more and more people will start to look at the cryptocurrency markets. Obviously, we had predictions that it was going to go to 1,008. Even the fact that there were people chanting 2,800, and you know what, we probably wouldn't see daylight. There are people right now that are saying that this whole kind of rally is not going to last, and what's going to be happening is that more downside is going to be occurring. It's just that right now there seems to be a little bit of a relief rally, nothing much, being that we were so oversold. But do you really think that's going to be happening?
Well, I mean, we have this conversation quite often in office or when we meet up, right? But the thing is, like I've been mentioning in the previous episode about how Bitcoin in general, it's fixed supply, right, guys? So the only thing that can really push the prices of Bitcoin is demand. And demand is very correlated. It's correlated to sentiment, right? So if the market feels that, hey, there's a strong demand coming in for Bitcoin, and the sentiment pushes it up, the price will just keep going up. So what's happening now is that we have also received certain messages that there are people buying Bitcoin in bulk, right? In a lot of quantity, and that's happening around the world already. We're receiving certain messages from that, and so the FOMO-ness is kind of kicking in. The only thing that haven't really latched on yet is the media sources, right? Maybe the media sources are coming in soon.
They're going to be more reserved.
It's going to be more.
No, it's good that they are more reserved, guys, because if they are more reserved, that just goes to show that maybe they just want to be a little bit on the safe side and not immediately announce it, because like I said, crypto is just very much faster. Okay, and the OTC markets, which is the main undercurrent that has been driving the volume, to me, I'm just thinking, why now? Like, why at 3.2? Why not at 2.8?
Yeah.
Why not at $2,000? Why now? Why bother to move it? You were able to move it like many months ago, right? But why leading up to Christmas? Why in December? It's just really strange. Now, the only question is, how high will we go before we experience a $300 to $400 correction? I mean, personally, I feel that we will correct. It's just that at what price?
Yep.
Could it be at the $5,000 mark? Could it be all the way until $6,000? I think there's going to be heavy resistance at the $5,000 to $6,000 mark.
Indeed.
Just because there was a very long consolidation at the $6,000. So a lot of folks who entered at $6,000, they will come to a crossroad where they ask themselves, shit, if it's gonna go down back to $3,000 or lower, right? I better just take my money and go. So that's where all the orders will be queued at. Now the only question is, what kind of real sentiment or catalyst is gonna really drive this market? And unfortunately, we have to wait for Q1 of 2019. That's when you have your Nasdaq, your German Bors, your BAC, your basically all the funds will probably start announcing that they are going to be picking up on the whole Bitcoin and cryptocurrency scene. That's when the action will happen. But you know what? There's been so many delays that we kind of like want to ignore all that news. And the only question right now is, when mainstream media starts to take notice of the fact that Bitcoin has risen from 3,002 to 4,000, and maybe they're just waiting for a nice round number, maybe $1,000, maybe even $2,000 before they let the mom and pops know about what's been happening in the past few days. If you look at the charts, guys, Bitcoin has really been skyrocketing. I mean, look, we were long since 3,200, and that's because we were part of the fact that we have been in this market for so long, and a lot of folks are pretty much jaded. In fact, there were people who were just continuously shorting at 3,200 because they just believe that, hey, 1,008 is definitely happening. And honestly, with the sudden surge of the volume, honestly, I don't even know why I even longed at 3,200, because I just felt that, look, it was just so oversold, right? There's more upside. It's just, it's just normal logical thinking right here. It's really nothing much. I just felt that, look, 3,200 is already so low and so cheap. Why not just take a bet? Why not just long? And it worked out perfectly. I mean, I think it's just one of those things. Obviously, I wasn't someone who was doing a lot of shorting. I'd be very honest with you. I was sitting pretty much at the sidelines, maybe nitpicking a little bit of shorts here and there. But overall, my heart was just more waiting for, could we actually have a Santa Claus rally? And it kind of happened, man. It really kind of happened.
I mean, I can testify for that. Yeah, it's the truth. He's been longing quite a fair bit. We've been having this discussion.
Just a little bit.
We finally hit the bottom, right? So there's so much discussion on that. But really, when we just want to talk about the charts here, and I just want to move on to this particular segment, which is on technical analysis, just to walk you through what we actually do for our weekly webinar, right? So this monthly webinar is just a way to give thanks to you guys, to showcase to you how we actually do our weekly webinars for our CG, Legacy, and Elite members. So members, please don't feel you're left out in any way, okay? So this is a very brief segment for you guys to just understand what's going on right now. So just basing on this particular chart that I do, it's a very simple one. It's 4 hours. It's on Bitstamp. And so this is just BTC movement for the last at least few days. Okay, so at least for this week alone. So what has happened is that on Monday, what we have seen is that last week we hit a low of what, 3,100.
Yeah,
right?
3,127 to be exact.
Yeah, to be exact.
$3,127.
Yep.
And that was when all the bottom shorters started really hitting it heavy. And they got liquidated.
So fair enough, they all got liquidated in fact. So happily, the longest began their journey up. So in that sense, when we see on a 4 hour chart, when we see that the candles are slightly crossing above the Kumo cloud, which is here, we were questioning ourselves, is this sustainable?
Could it? Yeah. I mean, look, for every time, right, it went into the cloud, it was a definite short. But I really don't know why we decided to just go long. It's just really weird. And because we were so convinced that the volume was there, I told him, we need to get in, man. And we added more and more positions. So from 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, we were all in. Even when it went up to 3.6, we were still adding on positions. And right now, we kind of recovered practically whatever we lost in terms of value, right? Because in a sense that we were zero fighting, guys. When it was going down, we were winning in Satoshis, but we were losing in dollar value. I think dollar value is still very important because Satoshis can only go so far if there's only so many people accepting Satoshi. So no matter what, we were always making sure that we were having a strong bottom line P&L in the US dollars. And that kind of played out. I actually mentioned in the group that if you were winning in sets, but what if your sets was gonna be 0, or if we really hit 1,000, or we was gonna be $1, right? So all these people who were shorting all the way down, right? They were saying, hey, I'm really winning it big time. Now I'm thinking, okay, so you won 10% on your trade, but then again you lost 10% on your dollar. Isn't that zero fighting? So I didn't really know whether this plan would play out. I guess at the end of the day, it was just a matter of faith that Bitcoin's price would eventually turn, and all these sets that we were kind of accumulating from shorting would benefit us. And well, I guess it's kind of a little bit here. I'm nowhere near in terms of when I bought. I did buy some at 6,000, I must admit, but because of the overall shorting and longing methods that we have been using in our Discord group, our strategies have been working out pretty well. And what we would like to do is just basically continue this strategy. Like I said, this is something that we will want to cover in the private groups, and this is something that we want to give exclusively to you guys. So right now, right, if you look at the charts, what do you feel that the direction is going to be? I think a lot of people, right, were always asking you, what is the direction right now? Should I long? Should I short? Should I be buying? Should I just be holding? Should I be staying in cash? What do I do, Andy?
Wow, great question. So this is $1 million question.
It is.
What should
you
we
should fucking
do?
answer it, man. Like every time people be asking you, like in the comments, they were asking you, like, hey, dude, like what should I be doing? You know, so you gotta give them something, man.
Okay, so this is non-financial advice. Just just for you guys to know, okay? But personally for me, I don't know about Ryan, but I am positive. I'm bullish about the market in general, not just because of technical analysis, but just referring to the sentiment and how people are FOMOing to the market, and how the candles go down, it corrects slightly, but it gets brought up so quickly. Like that flash dip isn't a flash dip at all. It happens maybe in 15 minutes, but the flash purchase or the speed at it going up, it's
the orders are really healthy.
It's crazy.
The orders are really healthy. If you are still in denial, right, it's really okay. You can always come in at $5,000-$6,000, guys, because that's probably a really good indicator as well. Why do I say that? I'm not asking you to come in late, but what I'm just saying is that it's good, because if the $6,000 level holds, and in fact we start trending upwards, perhaps that we are just seeing a little reversal, an actual reversal in the markets, because right now we are still very much in the bear market territory. Okay, we are taking as much of a risk as you guys are, especially if you're in the markets you've been trading. And I think a lot of us are still, of course, bearish buyers. Like, I choose to be bullish buyers because at the end of the day, I'm just seeing for the fact that the volumes are really strong. Or at the same time, we have people who are buying up huge quantities of BTC. We're not talking about small amounts here. We're not talking about 10, 20 BTC. We're talking about 10,000, 100,000 BTC, guys. This is information that we have and we share openly in our private group. We never ever hide this kind of stuff, and that's why the value is always there. Right? So right now, if you see for the fact that the prices are like that, okay, let's just give a lowdown. Especially, I think there are some Ethereum fans out there. Right? So let's give BTC, Ethereum, and the infamous Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash, guys. We let that one get away. I swear, I'm really a bit tilted because we really didn't think that Bitcoin Cash would do as much as it did. We don't really like the volume that's going into it. We feel that the concept is just there, but it's really more controlled more than ever. And we're just worried that suddenly the rug gets pulled from under us, and the thing could tank, I mean, really quickly. I would feel that Bitcoin is a little bit safer, in my opinion, right? Even though it's going to tank, it's not going to be tanking that drastically as if Bitcoin Cash were to tank. So, oh man, let's look at it. Let's look at all these charts, man.
So let's look at the charts first, right? So as of now, we're looking at a 15 minutes chart here, all right? Just to kind of showcase to you how fast the buyback can be. So what we're seeing here was that in a few, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 candles before 15 minutes candle, we do see some downside coming from here, right? But you can see that in the next 3 15 minutes candle, it was just brought up instantly. So whatever downside that happened, it was just brought up instantly. So you realize that the flashes or the flash dip happens, but the purchase strength is always higher than the dip itself. So we always go on to a higher level, a higher high in that sense. And so if we go back to 4 hours chart, what you realize is that what had happened or what has transgressed over the past few days is that you see a formation of bull flags happening all over. You may say it's wedge, you may say it's pennant flag, whatever. But my interpretation is more of consolidation. So the market is just getting tired of longing all the way. It needs to correct in a sense for more buyers to come in. And when there's more longers or buyers to come in, the price started going up again, and the same thing repeats. A lot of people are in disbelief here. When we went to 3,900, we were like, no.
Technical analysis, the technical analysts are saying that this will be the major resistance level that we're looking at between 4.4 to 4.5. And also when we're looking at the current chart on 4 hours, you do see that there's a lot of combination of dojis and reversal candles, and you can see the wicks are crazy. So I mean, you compare the candles within this range and the candles between this range here or even this range, you realize there's a lot of wicks, right? I mean, there's a lot of tail or head end.
Wait, there's no sound. How come there's no sound?
Where did
sound go?
Testing. Oh, it's okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Thanks, guys.
Sorry guys, a little bit of a technical glitch.
So anyway, back to the chart. So what we do see is that in terms of consolidation right here, we do see a lot of candles with a lot of wicks, right? So when we see double doji, we see different kind of dojis being formed. It just kind of meant that the market is uncertain. It doesn't know where it wants to go as of now. But in that sense, there's still a certain bullish biasness because of how the volume still carries on to be strong or based on OBV. And we can see how strong the buyback comes in. So every time there's a longer tail end than the head end, if you realize what I mean. So there's two candles right now forming a longer tail end as compared to their head end, and it's a continuation. It's like a bullish flag in that sense, and then we just keep on going up, forming higher highs in that sense. Alright, so as of now, for me personally, I'm in a technical point of view, I'm looking at it being more bullish. There's a few reasons why I'm looking at it being more bullish, not just technical wise, but we're looking at sentiment driven news. We're talking about not FOMC, we're talking about FOMONOS here, sorry. So the FOMONOS kicking in. A lot of people are saying that, hey, the rally has begun. A lot of people are saying that the stocks, indexes, financial markets are not doing that well.
Maybe crypto is our only hope, right? So therefore more people are coming in. Now the other thing that you gotta think about is that when Bitcoin did hit a low of $3,127, it kind of allow more people to come in, right? So it lowered the barrier of entry, and at the same time, because of that, more people can come in, and so therefore the network weight or the network increases, right? There's more people holding on to Bitcoins, there's more Bitcoin wallets now as compared to a year ago. So this kind of dropping in that sense, or the dip or the whole bearishness, was to invite more people to come in and speculate on the market, and therefore whatever that's happening now is just more people increasing their orders. Now you also got to think of it in another way. There are less people going from Tether to BTC as compared to more people going from fiat to BTC. So what I'm trying to say is that there are more fresh funds entering the market instead of just Tether going to BTC. Alright, so how do I know that? Just look at the premium on BTC US dollars exchanges like Coinbase, Gemini, Bitstamps as compared to certain Tether exchange, for example Binance, Huobi. You realize that right now in terms of fiat for BTC US dollars pairing, the price is always slightly higher as compared to BTC/Tether. Right, so what it kind of meant is that the premiums on these exchanges, on the exchanges where you can buy fiat to crypto, is getting higher, right? So there's more people coming in, the demand is increasing substantially in that sense. Now the only thing that I'm really waiting out for right now is the moment. Now I don't know whether you all could recall this. Now if you come into the market about 1.5 years ago, you'll probably remember this moment where you really greatly wish that you have been holding on to more BTC than odds. Now I'm talking about that moment when odds just suffer in terms of Satoshi level, when BTC just suck up all kinds of Satoshi from the odds, right? Then all the odds/BTC all tank, right, in terms of prices, and BTC price just increased significantly. Remember that point in time?
Yep.
And we were just looking at our odds crying like, oh no, they're all losing Satoshi, they're gaining US dollar value, but what's the point of holding these odds then, right? So we're all looking towards BTC. Now we are waiting for that point. Now when that point do happen somehow in a few months time, hopefully, we will see the bullishness returning, right? And we can cross many levels. The sky is the limit. We're not sure where we could go to at that point in time. So
actually there were certain cryptocurrencies that were already benefiting from this rally alone.
Yep.
Like EOS was below $2. EOS is currently now already above 270, 250, 270, 250, 270. I think at the same time, you're looking at Litecoin doing pretty well. It was actually holding up pretty well, especially when it was tanking really hard.
Yep.
And I think overall, you're seeing the whole altcoin space kind of come alive. Now the only question is, which alts will really have true value? I mean, look, everything gets pulled up concurrently. Okay, it's pretty straightforward. But the question is, why would anyone be looking at all these coins? So same thing, right? If Ethereum, like personally, Ethereum is always going to be having a little bit, there's going to be quite a lot of suppression for Ethereum, because every time Ethereum crosses a significant level, I think a lot of projects will start cashing out. That is one problem. And that is why my sentiment for Ethereum is always definitely bearish. Unlike for the fact that Bitcoin, okay, a lot of the ICOs, very few used Bitcoin. A lot of people used Ethereum instead. So right now, whatever rally that you get on Ethereum, you will definitely see a sell down from there. Now, there is still a lot of strong sentiment in Ethereum in terms of price at the moment, but from a fundamental standpoint, it's still doing very well, very well. I think EOS is also coming up very competitively. A lot of people were saying that EOS was going to be $1,000 by the end of the year.
We're coming to the end of the year.
It's a bit far, by the way. I think it's about, I think Dharma Brother, one of our community members, mentioned that it was going to be 41,000%. So, if that were the case, I think you can go and do a long right now with maybe about $100. Yeah, it could actually work out pretty well. I mean, what's $100, right?
Well,
right? But it's a bit of a long shot, by the way. It's just like saying 15,000 BTC by the end of the year. But you know what? If returns and gains were going to be compounded, okay, it might actually happen. It might. But I think in crypto we never know. Now, on to the Ethereum charts. I think everybody wants to see what Ethereum is up to at $112.73 at the moment. Where is it at the moment, Andy? I mean, like in terms of Ethereum, you probably want to go to the trading view so that they can see.
Yeah, I guess the other thing that we are wondering is that whether Ethereum will take back its position as the second biggest market cap in that sense. I mean, Ripple has overtaken Ethereum for quite a fair bit of time, right?
I mean, Ripple is such a magical coin, guys.
Wow,
it's
magical.
It's really I don't trade Ripple personally. I think I should, right? Because at the end of the day, we shouldn't be biased to tech, right? I think we always have this meme in the troll box. I'm here for the tech. I don't care about what's happening in terms of the price. I'm only here for the tech. That is the funniest thing that I always like to read, which I guess at the end of the day it is true, right? There are people who are here for the tech, bro. But nonetheless, I think we better give them some levels, guys. I think levels are just so important because it gives you a little bit of a perspective about where the market is headed. And right now Ethereum is kind of just following whatever BTC is doing. It's kind of correlated in a way. So if you are long on Bitcoin, I don't see why you shouldn't be long on Ethereum. I don't have any positions in Ethereum at the moment. I basically just went long only on Bitcoin at the moment. I'm really just doing that. And of course I'm long on VIX. So that's kind of the two things that I'm doing. It's just easy. Keep it easy, guys.
Right. So let's go to Ethereum's chart. I think this is on Bitstamp 4 hours chart that we're looking at. And what we do see and what you do notice is that we do see the kind of same formation when it comes to Ethereum. Like how Ryan just mentioned, it's kind of correlated to BTC. I'm also not a very big fan of Ethereum as of now. We are still looking at ICOs and maybe perhaps in the future STOs. And the ICO projects are trying to survive still, even in the current juncture. The pump, even though it's about $30 to about $40 pump on Ethereum, it's not very significant to a lot lot of ICO projects. They still need to fund a lot of operations, they need to pay their staff. There will still be certain downplay or certain take profit when it comes to Ethereum's prices. So it will kind of be still not suppressed, but kind of controlled. But from what I do know as well, there's still a lot of community and a lot of backers, a lot of people backing Ethereum, no doubt. And there's also articles saying that when STO do return, Ethereum will be the main choice. Right? I don't know how true will that be, but
Okay. So it all boils down back to the same thing. Who are allowed to invest in STOs? Will the ICO market still be around? I think selectively, yes. Okay, but it's gonna have a framework for sure, right? Who can and who cannot invest in ICOs, and how do you get in? That will be yet to be defined. I think that will be one of the key factors. It's just very difficult, guys, to just give you a pinpoint opinion about it. But right now, as of now, if I was a project holding lots of Ethereum, I would want to sell every time I can, because I know that I want to last at least for the next 2 years, 3 years or so, right? And the good thing is that as long as my token has some sort of value on the secondary market, I still stand a chance. You know, I really still stand a chance. But for the fact that if I was doing an ICO at $300 and $500, I think I've lost practically 80% of my value, right? I would be panicking, because I would have dedicated a good amount of those funds, right, to hiring talent, making sure that we have a space for development, right? And I would be shitting my pants knowing for the fact that I didn't hedge out at the time when I should be hedging out, right? And I think it's always just a matter of risk management and treasury management, which a lot of all these projects do not do. And right now, I do see for the fact that will Ethereum return in terms of price? And the question is, why is it even at this price? Same thing, why is even Bitcoin at this price? It's just very, very challenging. Right now, everything is still on the speculative mode. I wouldn't say anything has changed, but I must say that there are going to be more institutional products and derivative products being built around the crypto space. That is a guarantee. So, without further ado, it is time to announce the winners of the CG Protege trading program, right? So the winner is,
drumroll.
All right.
So we got a winner here.
So we have our winners. Now, obviously, we are going to be contacting you via the CG Protege Discord group, and of course we'll be sending you a confirmation email. Congratulations. I think it's always nice to win something. Just doing trades on Huobi, guys, you will stand a chance to win. It's really, really that straightforward. So just have to go into the links in the description or our CG Protege website, sign up with us, join the Discord group. It's free, guys. The CG Discord group is free. Right now, the markets are just doing so well, as per se. There's so much opportunity, there's so much volatility and life. And if you're still clueless about what to do at the moment, maybe it's time to join the group.
Well, let me also kind of just clarify what you will win.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We didn't mention the winner, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say that. Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That string of numbers,
win, man.
That dude with the string of numbers, we know who you are.
That's your UID number when you sign up, right? So when you sign up, you have a UID number.
Yeah, of the Huobi account. Yes, so basically what you have won is you have won a point card in the Huobi system. So this point card, it's $100 in US dollar tether value.
Yes.
And it allows you to offset your trading fee. Alright, so it's free. We're gifting it to you. Proudly sponsored by Huobi, our kind of Huobi elite partner that we have. And so this is just the weekly special, the weekly winner, right? We will also be having our monthly draw next week. It will be announced within the CG Protege group, all on a video format, but we will be announcing the winner for the December 2018, the final winner, and the winner might walk away with some HD airdrop as well. So whoever who are currently watching this video, you're in a CG Protege group, look, you don't have to do anything that's different. You can just adopt the same strategy you've always been doing. You can just trade, and you know, if you basically win in terms of your volume or your trading volume, and we found out that you have won, we're just gonna be announcing you as the winner again
every week.
Every week.
Every week, guys.
Yep.
It's just that simple.
So if you don't know what CG Protege all about, just head to our website. You can find it in the links below. At the same time, there's I think there's about 80 plus members already. Yeah, inside the group.
Yeah,
so
we want to grow this up. And that being said, we are going to be reopening CG Elite. So what is CG Elite?
Yeah.
Well, guys, we have been having the private group for one of the longest times, right? We have been wondering how and when should we reopen, and I think with the market really just blowing up, we really intended to open in January, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people want to get back in, and the best way to learn is always through the private groups, right? It's gonna be full-on interaction where weekly we have live market updates via webinar. So you're gonna be connected. Whether you're in the Eurozone or you're in the US, there's no excuse because we will actually do the webinars on 2 time zones.
Yeah.
Right?
So whatever that you're saying right now as of today, this is what we do on a weekly basis for the people in the group, right?
Yeah. And it's always about keeping you well informed. Because if you're not well informed, how are you going to take a position? Now, we are definitely going to be looking at risk management, right? Making sure that your portfolio is nice and tidy so that you can really prep and have the skill sets, and at the same time making sure that you're going to be ready for the next bull run, because it all starts with you getting knowledgeable here, right here, guys. And if you don't look for the right tools and information, how are we going to make money, guys? Right? So this is kind of like where we're at the moment.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a really exciting time, especially leading up to Christmas. Will Bitcoin really hit 6,000? Will it fall back to 2008? Well, we'll find out really, really soon.
Well, we'll form a new all-time low at 2008.
Yeah, man.
Again.
Shit.
And I'll just long back again. Okay.
Anyway, guys, Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. See you guys.
See you.
For more crypto-related content, check out our website now.